super psychologist, Dr. Mara Karpel of Dr. Mara Karpel and Your Golden Years. I hope you enjoy this informative interview and many more to come on my program. And we are here live in our studio. This is Dr. Mara Karpel and Your Golden Years, and joining me is Perry Arledge. Perry A. is how you go. And she is talking about living clay. Welcome back, Perry. It's been several years since you came on the program.
It has, and it's delighting to see you. You're as young as ever.
And so are you. You haven't changed.
Thank you.
So, and ever since you were first on the program, both Art, the producer of this program, and myself have been taking living clay and really loving it. So I'm so glad that you came back to talk about it.
I said I never sell clay because I just share it, and if you put it on you or in you, you become a clay believer and you want more of it because you get instant results. And it's just natural and safe. I call it God's pharmacy.
So what is living clay?
Basically, it's volcanic ash. So they took the core of Mother Earth, and when a volcano erupts, it goes through the heat. It burns out all the impurities, and nothing is left but pure trace minerals. 70 to 80 trace minerals bound together with this negative charge and a 9.7 pH. Those are two of the many attributes of clay. The negative ionic charge is like a magnet, and it pulls in the bad stuff is a positive charge. So it's like a little magnet. I call it a Pac-Man, gobbling up the bad stuff and carrying it out of your body. It captures it and holds it and doesn't let it go. So, some things we detox with stir up the toxins, but doesn't grab them all and they go and relocate somewhere else in the body. The beauty of clay is its lifespan is 50 years. So what it grabs and holds is not going to be dispersed back for at least 50 years.
Wow.
And this negative charge is so valuable in its healing properties. Clay in and of itself doesn't cure anything, but it's the pathway to healing because it cleans out the toxins. And when you're toxin free and when your body is in balance, it's very homeostatic. It wants to bring the body into balance. That's all you need for healing. Be free of toxins and a balance. A balanced body will heal itself. But this day and time we're exposed to so much, we're very much out of balance, and full of toxins. It works in several ways in getting rid of toxins. You can take it internally and drink it, and it starts working from the mouth going south, goes one end and out the other, but it cleans house along the way. It's picking up the toxins, the garbage, the bad bacteria. It's got a wisdom of its own, and it knows where to go and what to do. That's what the American Indians always said. It's been used before the written word. Aborigines women used it. They craved it when they were pregnant, and they believed it helped develop the fetus and helped them expel the afterbirth. And they even would rub it on their tummies to turn the baby if the baby was out of position.
Really?
So it has been used a long, long time before any of us have been on the planet.
So, is it good if you drank something and you're questionable about whether or not, like you drank water, like here in Austin where they had a boil water notice? If you drank some questionable water, would it help to detox you?
Absolutely. I would get on drinking water, and I would also take a clay bath because once the toxins are absorbed into your bloodstream, the clay particle is too large to pass through the colon wall and go into the bloodstream. So it cleans house from the mouth south, but it's a catalyst, and as a catalyst, it works with enzymes in the body, and it can actually build red blood cells. We've had test studies after taking clay for 6 weeks. The blood cells they took at first were all clumped together and fuzzy, and after 6 weeks they were apart and clear and had a little glow around them. So the people that work with blood samples really could see a difference in what the clay did for them.
And what does the bath do? What does taking a clay bath do?
We've got pores in our skin, and these toxins the clay is like a magnet drawing it out to the pores of your skin. When you're in the bath water, I like to fill the tub, put my clay in, and I'll tell you how to mix it and pour it in liquid form so it won't bother your pipes and lump up.
Right.
And I get down in the tub and put a towel behind my head and take a cup and just pour it over me, and I'll feel my thighs, and they feel kind of slick, like maybe little air bubbles. And I'll rub them, and it feels like skin, and a little bit it feels slick again, and I keep doing that. And it's literally pulling the toxins out of the body. We've done tests over 3-month periods. I don't know why, but someone recommended to us 2 clay baths a week for 3 months. And we had a child with 7.3 levels of lead in his system. And the doctors wanted to do the intravenous chelation, and his dad didn't want to subject this child to that. So he heard me on the radio, got some clay, started giving him a clay bath twice a week. He was giving him, because he was so small, a teaspoon of the clay to drink and daily. And in 3 months they went back to test him, and the doctors came back and said, "What have you been doing?" And he said, "What do you mean, what have I been doing?" And he said, "Well, we tested your son and his lead levels are gone. We want to know what you've been doing."
Wow.
So it definitely works.
Takes out the heavy metals. So both the bath, for something like that, you'd want to do both, right? Because that's pretty
You
serious.
want to drink it internally for anything you've ingested. A lot of people have amalgam fillings that leak mercury. And particularly when you chew, it loosens that mercury. So after you eat, drink a little clay. Try to capture that before it goes into the body. And for that's already gone into the body, you'll need to take a series of clay baths. Generally, we recommend using 1 cup of clay per bath, mixing it with water in a blender, and then pouring it in the clay. I always fill a blender about half full, put the cup of clay in, and then fill it to about 1 inch of the top and blend it on high. You have this liquid poured in your bathtub when you're running a pretty warm, better than warm bath. You don't want it too hot. Rinse your blender out, get all the clay in there. Wash your blender blades off before, because it will rust metal. It pulls metals, so it's going to deteriorating metals. If you've got knee parts and dental stuff, they don't use deteriorating products or metals. I had braces for a time, and I brushed my teeth with the clay, and I used it to pack my gums, and it didn't bother it at all. But so
I'm glad you told me how to mix it, because I made a couple of clay baths and it got real lumpy.
Well, if you don't put it in a blender and add water to it, it's going to be quite lumpy.
Yes.
And that's not good for your drains.
Right.
And you're not getting the full benefit because it's not fully hydrated.
Right.
So all of the clay particles. Now, the clay is made up of minerals, and it does have heavy metals in it in parts per million, but they're not bioavailable to the body. Because clay adsorbs and absorbs, in the adsorption layer, the outer layer, there are 4 minerals you'll get: calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium. Those are the only minerals you get from clay. It may, as a catalyst, be able to produce things in your body that you're deficient in that the clay doesn't even contain. That's amazing, and there's some studies in the book, that lots of research in the book that explains how all this works. So,
now, I was sharing with you, when I was recently in New York, I had eaten something that gave me really bad reflux. I started feeling like my chest was tight, and I went to bed, and it was even like in my throat, and I didn't even know what was going on. And my brother said to me, "I think you have reflux." So I immediately went to the store and got some clay. They didn't have your brand, so I had to drink extra, because your brand works faster and it's stronger. But it helped. And now I do that. Now I do that regularly, especially if I've eaten something that I think is going to cause a little bit of heartburn or reflux. I drink some clay right after it.
You know, I'm like you. That was when I became a clay believer, because I really didn't have much wrong with me when I first started using it. And I took a clay bath and I felt better. Your skin feels baby soft when you get out of a clay bath. You don't need to rinse off or anything, just dry it off, and it literally feels like a baby's skin.
Wow.
But the drinking it was a different thing, and when I drank it for acid reflux and it went away like that, I was sleeping up propped on 3 pillows at night because this burning would come up in my throat, in my mouth, and I thought, I'm going to get esophageal cancer if I don't find out something. And the person he introduced me to it, that's when he said, you need to drink some of this clay, and he had some sent to me, and I've been a believer ever since. Started me on my path.
Because you feel that for reflux, the effects are immediate.
Yes.
Right?
I threw my pillows away in 2 days.
Wow.
And I don't, you know, I take it every day, a little bit. Some days I miss. And I've been doing this for 23 years, and I don't have arthritis. I was getting arthritis, and in my thumb, and I noticed after a few months on clay, it went away. It didn't hurt anymore when the weather changed, and I could open jars again. And recently, I went to a foot doctor I kind of hurt some bones in my foot, and he said, oh, it's osteoporosis, you've got arthritis. And I said, no, I don't, I drank clay. And he said, you think you know them more than me? And I had the doctor's degree. I said, when it comes to clay, I do. And he said, well, we'll just get a blood test and test. And sure enough, it came back, no osteoporosis and very good bone density. So I'm a believer, and when it works that quickly on a burn, an insect bite. I don't care if it's a wasp sting, a scorpion sting. They had friends that had a rattlesnake bit their dog on the lip, and they put clay on there, and the swelling was gone in 2 days. They just kept the clay on their lip.
So it pulls out the poison.
It pulls out the venom, the
when
poison.
You put it topically.
Yeah, and you know how a wasp sting hurts? Well, you put it on there, and you can feel it pulsating as it's kind of sucking out the venom, this little throbbing. Toenail fungus. The first time I used it on toenail fungus, I could feel this pulsating. And then after a while, I didn't feel it, and I thought, well, it's not working, and I quit wrapping my toe in it at night. And then I noticed my toenail was growing out, and the bed was pink behind it, and that hollow yellowish part was growing out.
Right.
So, and it